These are the answers to day 2 homework for bar modeling. Please be sure, kids, that you have done your homework first before you watch this video. Step number 1, read the problem. There are 1,250 adults in the zoo. There are 2,470 more children than adults in the zoo. How many children are at the zoo? Step number 2, write the answer statement using the question in the problem. Well, here we go again. If the question is how many children are at the zoo, then your answer statement should be there are blank children at the zoo. Step number 3, draw the starting line. Step number 4, who or what is the problem about? Now, this one is about children and adults, and you know it's a comparison bar model because you see the keywords more than. Anytime you see more than or less than, you know that there are going to be 2 separate bars. So, the first group that's mentioned are the adults in the zoo, and the second that are mentioned are the children. And write more or less if needed. It says right here that there are this many more children. So I know that there are more kids, and then I will write less for adults. Let's do steps 5 and 6 together. Draw the unit bars and label and check off as you go along. So it says there are 1,250 adults at the zoo. And then we don't know how many kids, but we know that there are more. So that's why I just drew a random larger bar for the children. Now there are 2 different ways you can do this. Let me show you the first way. We are trying to find the missing number or the unknown number for the kids, right? One way you can do this is this. Well, I know from the number of adults. Oh, let's do the ending line. That helps us to know where we are. I know that there are already 1,250 adults. And I'm going to write it in the children's bar, and let me show you why. So, let's check that off. We know that there are 2,470 more children. So, if you add 1,250 plus 2,470, you will get your whole number, your unknown number for N, for the children. Let me erase that. And let me show you another strategy. So you have your larger bar. So you could say this entire bar is your unknown. And you could say, okay, I'm going to draw the dotted line for the adults. Because I know that there are 2,470 less adults. So you could say, from here to here and here to here are the same. So you can add these 2 numbers to get your unknown N. So either strategy will work. I just wanted to show you both. But whatever you end up writing, you're going to add the 2 numbers to get your answer. So let's do that quickly. Check your math as you go along. And the answer is 3,720 children at the zoo. Does your answer make sense?
Does it make sense, Zoe?
2 numbers to get your larger number for the children.
What do you think?
We're moving to the next one. Step number 1, read the problem. Greg has 4,750 U.S. stamps. He has 1,758 Canadian stamps. How many stamps does Greg have in all? Step number 2, write the answer statement using the question. If the question is how many stamps does Greg have in all, Then your answer statement should say something like, Greg has blank stamps in all. Step number 3, draw the starting line. Step number 4, who or what is the problem about? Now, you don't see your keywords like more than or less than, right? So you know you're not comparing anything. So it's a single bar model, and you're simply talking about the number of stamps, not Greg. All right, so let's go ahead and do steps numbers 5 and 6. Draw the unibars and label and check off as you go along. I know that he has 4,750 US stamps, and I know that he has 1,758 Canadian stamps, and this is a simple part whole. How many does he have in all? So all you're doing is adding the two numbers together. So your answer should be, look at my regrouping as you add. Check your regrouping and make sure you came up with 6,508 stamps in all. Does it make sense? Step number 8. Yes, it does.
Okay, so
you add those two numbers together.
Does it make sense?
To get your large number of 6,508.
Does it?
Let's go ahead and do number 6. Read the problem. The total number of blackberries and blueberries in a box is 2,000. There are 897 blackberries. How many blueberries are there? Step number 2, write the answer statement using the question and the problem. If it says how many blueberries are there, then your answer statement should be there are blank blueberries. Step number 3, draw the starting line. Step number 4, who or what is the problem about? We're not comparing anything. I don't see more than or less than. It's simply about the number of berries. And the total number is given to us. So I'm going to do a large bar because I know that that is the total number of berries. There are 2,000. And they give us a part. Okay, I'm going to check that off. They gave us the number for a part. Let's see, there are 897 blackberries. And then the unknown number is the number of blueberries. So I wrote our unknown number n to show that. And of course, if you're given the total number and you're only given a part of the whole and you're trying to find out the other part of the whole, you know you need to subtract. 2,000 minus 897. I'm going to use our little trick of subtracting one number, and then you will get 2011. Don't forget to add the 1 back at the very end, so your answer would be 1,103 blueberries. Does your answer make sense? Yes, because if you add that number plus 897, you will end up with the number 2,000. Last one. Step number 1, read the problem. Sam sells 576 more toys than George. George sells 1,293 toys. How many toys does Sam sell? Step number 2, write the answer statement. If the question is how many toys does Sam sell, my answer will be Sam sells blank toys. Step number 3, draw the starting line. Step number 4, who or what is the problem about? Did you see your keywords, more than? Ding, ding, ding. I know that's a comparison. What things are you comparing, or who? In this case, it's Sam. They're competing against each other to see who sells more, I guess. And the second guy that's mentioned is George. Who has more and who has less? It says Sam sells this many more. So Sam has more, George has less. Let's do step numbers 5 and 6 together. Draw the unit bars and label and check off. So Sam sells 5. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this first. George sells 1,293 toys. And I know that Sam sells more. Let me draw the ending line so that you can see the comparison. Now, again, there are 2 ways of doing it. We are trying to find out the unknown number for Sam, so you can make his entire bar the unknown number n, and you could do the dotted line here to say, well, George sells 576 less. You could add these 2 to get the unknown number, or erase that. If it's easier for you to see that Sam he's starting off with the same number as George, but he sells this many more, then you're like, okay, I can add these 2 numbers to get my unknown number for Sam. So either way, you are adding those 2 numbers together to get the answer of 1,869 toys. Step number 8, does your answer make sense? Yep, because if I'm adding this plus this together, I get a larger number for Sam. Sam sells 1,869 toys. And those are your homework answers for bar modeling day number 2.
All right, Zoe. How'd they do? Good? Okay.